I did go ahead and put the trespass upon claimant's rights, bad faith claim into the federal district court, and the clerk sent me a letter pretty much putting it into the wrong jurisdiction, made it a civil rights claim, even though when the clerk asked me if it was, I told her it was not. So I've made that correction, and I've not heard back from them.
Right. Well, hang on. Let me call a time out here a second. What you say is that you trespassed upon your rights. What you do, you got to listen. You don't have to listen, but on my series web page, series call page, they call it, I have an interview with Mark Stevens. I thought I mass emailed it to everybody. Did you hear it?
You did, and I listened to it. It was very helpful.
Okay, what is going on there is what you made a mistake again. You said it. I didn't bother expressing every little minute detail that Mark Stevens was saying because it was incredible how many mistakes he was making with the vernacular. But I didn't want. It was his show. I only had a half an hour. I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep hitting him like a hammer, and I'm going to get the most important thing out. I'm not going to scrutinize every little minor detail. I'm just going to get the message out and be done. So, but what you said was you claimed it as your rights. I said to Mark when he said, well, man has no rights. I was like, I said, okay, does man have property? He said, well, yes, I believe the man has property. I said, okay, well, rights is just a subcategory within the definition of property. Because property is all in which you claim is proper to your person, exclusive to all others within society. To your right, to the exclusive enjoyment of property, said property, exclusive to all others within society. So I said, do you understand that? And he was like, yes. I said, well, that also means that you have a heartbeat, a pulse rate. People can't scare you for fun. You could sue them for assault because they're intimidating you. Because you have the right to maintain an 120 over 80 heartbeat or blood pressure. You have that right. That's your property. Nobody can mess with your, mind, your heart rate. I said, even though you can't, it's not tangible, you can put it out on the table as an exhibit. Well, this is what the man did to me. The jury will understand, well, if somebody did that to me, keep kicking in my door at 4 in the morning, I guess I would be, my heart would jump out of my chest too. And even though the door really wasn't damaged, but more than $2 worth. Yeah, I should get $1 million for doing that because, the lady doesn't have to prove her heart jumped out of her chest, but just people on the jury can visualize that, yes. So when you say you trespass, don't really say you trespass on your rights. Trespassed upon my property or trespassed upon my person. That includes your rights. That includes everything. Trespassed upon my person.
Person, okay.
So that's that little part that I wanted to say. So, in case anybody else is listening, when you stylize a claim, I like to make it broad like that. They trespass upon my person instead of trespass upon my rights, because then somebody say, okay, what do you believe is your rights? It's like, oh, here we go. He wants me to micromanage this. It's like, look, trespass on my person. Don't you worry about it. You get me in front of the jury, I'll convince the jury. So people like a Mark Stevenson say, well, technically you don't have rights. It's like, oh, you know what? Do you believe in property, Mark? Yes. Okay. Well, you trespassed upon my property? Yes. Okay. Property's all rights exclusive. It's all what I claim is property of my person exclusive to all others. It's exclusively enjoyed to any other member of society? Yes. Good. So it's like, wow. Okay. And I believe I have something called rights. And I believe that's part of my subcategory of property. So then go ahead. Look. Yeah.
Rights and property are equal, so to speak.
No. Property is all what you claim is proper to your person. Now, you believe that you have rights. Okay, that's property to your person. There you go. So, rights.
You're saying property is. That's an excellent definition.
Property means your person. It's your person. You have rights. You also have a heartbeat.
Enjoyment, obviously, yes. Okay.
Right, you have dreams, you have hopes, you have desires. You can't touch them. Like, you can't touch a right. You can't touch a hope or a dream or aspirations or goals. That's property of your person.
Property in person, yes. Okay.
Yeah, intangible. It's an intangible.
I should redo the cover page. But in this particular case, we're talking about our land, and we don't want to call it property. We want to call it land. Because real property is a misnomer. It's land. We have it patented. And also we have, in this particular case, manufactured homes we have free and clear title to, which they broke the close on in doing the unlawful illegal eviction and had to break in because we would not open the door. We were trying to speak to them through the window. They did not have a proper, they just didn't have proper paperwork. and we had paid for a trial by jury, which essentially was denied us. So this is why the claim, we have to turn around and make the claim. And we have also put in an order for injunction against the wrongdoer respondents and any associates to cease and desist from any and all actions and claims to the private land and house homes commonly identified, and of course giving the location pending resolution of the claim. And the night after I talked to you, which was last Thursday, we had 6 sheriff's cars and people all over our land. And it was quite interesting. So they, of course, have violated the land patent and broke the close on our land as well. So I had to put a notice into the sheriff about that.
Like I said, you got to be careful because property encapsulates everything that you believe is proper to you for your exclusive enjoyment, denying all others, access to. That's property.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to know what land is, you can just go to Webster's 1828 English Dictionary online. And land means the inhabitants of a region, a country, a nation, or people. So land is the inhabitants of a country. So if you ever heard The Land and the King Are One from like a King Arthur movie, the Knights of the Round Table, the king and the queen, or the king and the land are one. Is the people and the men and the women of the kingdom and the king are one. They're one and the same. The king represents what's all best in man or woman. So land technically is the inhabitants. It's not the dirt or the ground. See, we call it dirt and ground, but technically the land and the people are one. So it's the same thing, and the king and the land are one. So it doesn't literally mean the dirt. See, because like I explained to people is your mom and your dad got together and started to produce you. Right. Where did you come from? You came from your mom. Okay, technically, your mom didn't eat stardust or pixie dust. Your mom ate from the land.
Right.
So without the land nourishing your mom, you could not be produced. You would never have had a corpse. It would never produced your body. So you and the land are one. So that's why, like I said, when people say like a birth certificate is a horrible thing, no, it proves that you were born upon this land, that you and the land are one, and that you have the rights to the natural resources of this land. So when people say, oh, get rid of that state-produced birth certificate, no. It helps prove to the world or to the jury that I am part of this land. Literally, I am part of this earth. Where else do I come from? I'm not pixie dust. Stalked and dropped me off on Mars. My mom had to eat from this land. Without the land, I would not be here. She couldn't just breathe air and create me. So you got to be careful when you use the word land. So say, well, I think that's the word. That if you believe that, God bless you. If you can convince a jury that's exactly what you mean, and they don't think that any other definition of that word, God bless you. But to me, I just make a simple claim. I said they interfere with my right, with my property. They trespassed upon my property, which includes my person, which includes my dreams, my hopes, my goals, my inspirations, my dirt that I put my feet down on the ground every day. So you say property, everything else is the subcategory of property. Your rights, your hopes, your dreams, your dirt, your land, your house, your car, that's your property. So instead of micromanaging every damn detail, you say property. And that pretty well covers everything. If you want to, the person who did you wrong knows exactly what they did. They know exactly what part of the property they trespassed upon. They know exactly. You don't have to spell it out. The only person you make a one-page statement of the wrong, one-page claim. Boom, this is the wrong. The other side knows, like I said, it was a good thing I saw on kind of like a Judge Judy kind of show. The lady's like, look, ma'am, I don't need to know what color the pool tiles were supposed to be. All I need to know, ma'am, is simple. You told the man to put the tiles in the pool, right? Yeah. He didn't put the right tiles in, right? Right. Bingo. That's all I need to know. I don't need to see 10,000 photos. I don't need to see the emails that went back and forth with you guys. All I need to know, did he put the wrong tiles in the pool? Yes. Perfect. Buddy, what do you got to say to this? Well, I thought this is what you want. Fine. You know what, ma'am, you win. Have a nice day. I don't need to see all that other nonsense. You know, and he knows what happened. And that's how fast the judge could see through the nonsense. So when you guys put all these pages in of the whole entire story, the judge doesn't want to hear the story. If you want to tell a story, tell the story to the jury. Mm-hmm. If you want the judge to have jurisdiction over you, just say, hey, He trespassed upon my property. The judge will have no freaking clue when you submit, like that lady who said before, she said, well, the court clerk won't accept my paperwork. Just write one sentence. They trespassed upon my property without right, and I demand compensation of $10,000. The clerk court will have no freaking clue. What the hell are you talking about? The other side will know. They'll open up the claim, that they had, summons them to appear, that trespassed upon my property without right, and they now want compensation. They'll know. And the court clerk will be totally baffled. They'll be like, I have no idea what's going on between you and them, but okay. I'll have them summons to appear, and they can give an answer. They'll answer in 21 days. And what the other side would do, if they want to play funny, they could ask for a bill of particulars. They could say, can you itemize, or can you give me more of a concise, what this claim is really about? Because honestly, we deal with 10,000 people suing us a day. Honestly, we forgot about you. What do we do to you? Oh, okay. Now we remember you. But the initial filing with the clerk court, so if the court clerk is simple. It's one sentence. They trespassed upon my property without right, and they interfered with my right to property. Or interfere is a beautiful word. Don't use violate, and use trespass and interfere. That's perfect. Then property, always try to get property in there. Rights, okay. Society basically knows what rights means, and everybody in the jury will basically understand, and then go right for the compensation. When the U.S. Marshals read my lawsuit, they said, that's it? They uttered a forged instrument to interfere with property? Yeah, that's it. And now the compensation thing is like, now you demand $1 for every second. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. They said, well, that's about the simplest lawsuit I've ever seen. I said, yeah, that's right. I said, for some reason, a clerk court, they don't know how to, they've made it a civil rights action, which I have no idea how they took it from a personal injury, claim of harm, like a personal injury, and converted to a civil rights action. I have no idea. And I told them, bring it back over to the right side of the court, the common law side of the court. Because a claim is the common law side of the court. A complaint is like the civil side of the court. And where the magistrate and the clerk of the court, they all get together and try to help you solve your little dilemma. I don't need anybody to help me solve my little dilemma. I want the jury to come back with a verdict. Do I have a proper claim? Yes or no?